I have an absolutely fantastic modern knife to show you today. First, let's take a look at the unboxing. After watching Jersey Knife Guy's channel about a week ago, he showed this knife. This is a cold steel. I had been looking at this probably a year ago, but they were always out of stock. I never was able to get one. Well, one was finally in stock, so I grabbed it. The Cold Steel FM-1. It has a 3¼ inch cutting edge, along with a 3½ inch total blade length. The knife is very thin. I mean, look how thin that is. It has a great pocket clip, and it also has very thin blade stock. Let's take a look at that next to a PM2. I think you can see there's a pretty big difference in the thickness. How about next to a Benchmade 940? It's also a little thinner than the 940. And a Cold Steel Recon 1, definitely thinner. The FM-1 has a saber grind and it comes down fairly thin. It's a nice, long, gradual taper. This is really slicey. This is a great knife to carry. You have a spear point blade, and one thing that's nice about a spear point blade, it's much nicer than a clip point. You have access to that tip at a much lower angle. You don't have to stand the knife straight up where you don't have that great a control over it. Low angle access, also nice and pointy for piercing, for opening up those blister packs. Great for utility cuts, and yet it still has enough belly to do your typical food processing or anything else you need a knife for with the belly. Now, it is a continuously curved blade. Let's start here. As you can see, all the way, the whole length of the blade, it's curved. Now, curved blades are more aggressive and they cut faster. So it's a really excellent blade profile. It has excellent geometry. It's just very well executed. One thing that's a little bit peculiar is one thumb stud is longer than the other. The short thumb stud is about flush with the scales. The longer thumb stud sticks out just a hair. So I don't know if that's done to favor the right-handed user. And if you're a left-handed user, you could take this off and you could flip them around. The blade steel is S35VN. The scales are titanium. So you have excellent materials used throughout this knife. Now you may say S35VN is getting to be a little bit old. Well, the S30V on this Benchmade is even older. Now I've carried this knife. The Recon 1 probably has a 1.5 years of pocket time in it. This is S35VN. I've never had an issue with it. It has never chipped. It hasn't taken edge damage. It's easy to maintain, easy to sharpen, and holds an edge for a very reasonable amount of time. I couldn't ask for a better EDC blade steel than this. So I expect the same thing out of this knife. Cold Steel does an excellent job on the heat treat of S35VN. I've had no issues with their knives. If you look at knife steel nerds, you'll see that S35VN has an edge retention of 5 and a toughness of 5. MagnaCut, which has been all the rage, has an edge retention also that is 5 and is slightly tougher at a 7. S35VN is plenty in a pocket knife. And I will submit to you that there's not as much difference as most people think between S35VN and MagnaCut as far as how long it holds an edge. I will say that high hardness MagnaCut, such as done by Chris Reeve or the Tactile Knife Company, or my own fixed blades that I make out of MagnaCut, 6364 HRC, and they hold an edge a little bit longer, most definitely. I'd probably put it at a 6 instead of a 5. So if you're dealing with high hardness MagnaCut, yes, you are going to get a little bit better edge retention, but you are going to lose just a little bit of toughness, bringing them down close to the same level of toughness. So overall, S35VN is a very well-balanced knife steel, and I do not have a problem with it. There is another benefit of S35VN and also S30V. It can very easily be touched up on ceramics. Now, as this FM-1 came, it had a decent edge on it, but it wasn't quite where I wanted it to be. So I did about 30 passes on each side of the gray, and then 10 passes on each side of the white. And that really woke the edge up. The knife It slices through paper so easily and so cleanly, and it does exactly what I want, and it is the way I want it edged. So with just a ceramic like this, very easy maintenance. I anticipate having to touch this up the same way, in very similar manner, every 3 to 4 weeks. That's about all this knife is going to need. You don't need any fancy diamond stones. You don't need any fancy strops with all these different emulsions. Just a simple ceramic. And if you have ceramic rods, that's good enough. And Lansky makes one that's only about $10 and it's gray. That is an excellent sharpener. It delivers superb results. As this came from the factory, the knife was pretty stiff. I mean, it was really stiff. When I pulled in the Atlas lock, the blade wouldn't even drop. Now it'll drop and actually close all the way. Let's see if we can Spidey flick this. Failed on the first attempt, which I've been doing a lot, and then I usually get it on the second attempt. I blame it on this low profile thumb stud on this side that my finger slips off of it. Got to learn the knife, but it's also a little bit too stiff. Like I said, it took about a week before it broke in. We're going to try oiling this knife up since it is a little bit stiff. The oil that I'm going to use is my own formula knife lube. This is available on my Etsy store, which is lcknives.etsy.com. I'll put a link in the description. It's a mineral oil based formula, so it is safe to eat. Put a drop in there, drop on that side. Get a little bit on the moving surfaces. And let's work it in a little bit. I don't just oil up a brand new knife. I let it break in. And the reason for that is when you oil up a new knife, you're reducing friction between the surfaces. This has phosphor bronze washers, and if you reduce friction, you're going to reduce wear. It's going to take some wear for that break-in to happen. So I think you're better off just leaving the knife in the condition it comes in and don't oil it up right away. Look at that. Now it will drop shut. It's still not 100% broken in, but it's so much smoother. It was very stiff when it was new. Now it's got a really nice action. That oil made a huge difference. So about a week in break-in, but I could feel it. It was to the point where it needed some oil. It broke in enough and the pieces smoothed together. The surfaces have to mate to each other. And that has to happen, and it'll happen faster without oil than it will with oil. Now, along with the FM-1, I'm carrying a traditional knife in my clip slip. This is a GEC. You can see there, this is an 86 pattern. This one is in 420 stainless steel. So it's a good summer carry knife for me because I'll get hot and sweaty. And this one is going to be, for the most part, pretty much impervious to moisture. Where carbon steel, I tend to rust them up in the summer. So stainless steel is better for me. And this is an excellent, it's another very thin knife, just like the FM-1. Matter of fact, the FM-1 is even thinner than the GEC. And this is a very thin knife. So two excellent blades for summer carry. Here we have a Spyderco Paramilitary 2. This is the same one. And all the knives I'm going to show in here are the same exact models that I have sitting on the table. So you can see it's a digital camo scales in S45VN. And if you look, the price is $209.25. Now for the Recon 1, the Cold Steel Recon 1. It's the 4-inch knife. They have this thing listed at $129.95, $130 for this knife. When I bought this knife, I paid $80 for it, and it's actually so good. I have a backup, which I also paid $80 for. You used to be able to get these knives on sale for $80, and actually at one time on Amazon, that was the normal everyday price, $80. They were $79, $95. So everything has gone up in price, especially since this war with Iran has started. We've had gas prices all spike. We've had inflation go crazy, and everything just keeps going up and up and up. The Benchmade 940. the standard old green one with aluminum scales and an S30V blade. They want $300 for this thing right now. That is just insane. I can't believe it. Back around, it has to be between 2010 and 2012, which is when I originally bought this knife. I paid $130 for this knife. When they came out with the fancy one in carbon fiber with an S90V blade, they wanted $180, $200 for that. And at that time, I thought that was crazy for a knife price. Now the basic model is over $100 more than what the fancy model used to be. It's insane what Benchmade is asking for knives nowadays. They've priced themselves out of the game. I know I'm not going to buy any Benchmades. There's no way. I want to talk a little bit about the lock on this knife. It's called the Atlas lock. I also have a Cold Steel Mayhem, which uses the same lock. It's a really good lock. It's very strong. Originally, Timecode developed the Shark lock. But sometime later, Civivi, followed by the Tactile Knife Company, came out with a very similar lock. Either that lock was just different enough that it didn't infringe on patents, or the original Shark lock was never patented. I don't know which way it is. Now we have Cold Steel releasing the Atlas lock. Like I said, first in the Mayhem, and now in this FM-1. This is a very, very good lock. All you have to do is pull back on it to open or close the knife. It's also a very strong lock. This lock may even be as strong or stronger than the Triad lock. I've got to look at some testing on it and see if they've done some of the old school testing on the Atlas lock. I've really enjoyed carrying this knife, and I don't see it leaving my pocket anytime soon. I carry this along with a traditional knife every day, a modern and a traditional. It's very thin. It doesn't weigh a whole lot. It's not the lightest knife for its size and, for its thickness or thinness, but it is not heavy. It carries so easily in the pocket. The pocket clip is just perfect. It carries dead flush, and it's one of the short pocket clips. It's very similar to this one here that I put on the Benchmade that I really love. I love this style clip. This knife is ranking really high, and this just may end up being the best modern folder of 2026. Take a look at this. Right now on Amazon, they have the Cold Steel FM-1 on a limited time deal for $179.49. If you've been wanting one of these, or you like Benchmade knives, I would highly advise to pick one of these up. This is a killer deal on an excellent knife. If this was a Benchmade, it would be selling for $300 plus. $179 for this is a great deal. So if you have any interest in these, I would head over to Amazon and pick one up today. One last thing before I let you go. When is the right time to carry a knife? Anytime, anywhere.